You're a sharp-dressed man. You were talking about growing up in an environment with a single-parent household. I'm assuming that was your mom, not your dad?
That's correct. That was my mom.
You know, you got secondhand clothes. We used to have a store here in the city where I live here in Toronto. It was called Byway. I don't know if it's still around in other parts of the country, even other parts of the world. But the running joke was, you know, kids would come up to me in school and they'd say, "Oh, hey, Rich, I'd like those jeans." But I couldn't get my arm down far enough in the Byway box to reach it to pull it out, because it was a clothing donation box, right? You know, they'd make fun of you and your clothing, and if, you know, you ended up with tears or rips in your jeans, you know, my mom would sew up some patches, and, you know, that's how we did it. You know, we didn't have a lot of money either. But the significance of that when you're a child and then growing into yourself and becoming a man when you have the resources, like, how important is it to dress a certain way for you today?
I mean, it's such a core thing that I view it as more of a symbol of the fact that I have, you know, that poor kid who was angry at his day-to-day reality. I've changed that. So for me, it's beyond just dressing and wanting to look high status or project value. We're all driven by our belief systems, right? And the belief systems that were formed during my formative years was that I was a poor kid who everyone laughed at. And even that secondhand clothing smell, there was a real, like, I got teased about it in class. Mm-hmm. So I think as I was, you know, those early years, deep in my brain was this strong devotion to level up in life, and the clothes are the symbol of that. So now you won't see me rocking a t-shirt or a hoodie, you know, like these tech pros. I often say, if you're going to be a professional, dress like a professional. And so it's so deep in me that it's you know, symbolic of my rise from a poor kid to someone who isn't poor anymore, to answer your question, brother. But also, just a quick thing that I often say to a lot of guys in my circle: if you want to do one thing that brings massive return on investment, it's get to the tailors. Learn how to dress well. You know, find a tailor that you can work with over the years. Mm-hmm. The ROI on that in terms of projecting value, professionalism, also in dating, or just feeling like you're the man. And as Tate often says, you know, there's no downside to believing you're the man. It's only a positive, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to really level up in terms of how you're perceived and how you feel, I do believe that tailored clothing, you know, forget fashion, forget what's trendy, go with what's classic. That, you know, one navy blazer and a sharp white shirt from a tailor's can really transform a young man's life and how he's perceived and how he feels. So I've taken literally hundreds of my brothers to the tailors for exactly that reason. That's how important it is.
Yeah, and I mean, the cost to get tailored stuff isn't as expensive as you think it would be. I'm sure in Dubai, the quality of the material and the quality of the work is going to differ as the other places will do it. The guys that I use, they're actually from Hong Kong, and they come here every 4 or 5 months. Nice. They rent out a hotel suite that you go in. They basically measure you up, and then your shirts come in the mail 2, 3, 4 weeks later. You can get 3 shirts for about $300. You can get really nice shirts for a few $100s more. But even like the standard shirts are well worth it. If all you can get is just 3 shirts, just get 3 shirts. Keep them on your rack, different colors. Start with something, at least with that, because everything that's off the shelf, I don't know if it's like this in Dubai, but here most people are relatively overweight. They're obese, morbidly obese, somewhere in that realm. So the shirts are very baggy. They don't fit you around the waistline. They're very puffed out. Same thing over there.
I mean, we don't have the North America's special in terms of that mass obesity. Mm-hmm. But what I would say from personal experience, once you're used to tailored, you cannot wear off the rack. You just can't do it. Yeah. Especially for guys like us who have muscularity and body types that are not gelling with the average dude who likes Netflix and his PlayStation. I think anything I get off the rack likely won't fit. So I haven't worn off the rack shirts for 10 years, and I don't think I can go back.